let's do we'll do the 1-2 punch here of the funniest and most annoying back to back.
Okay.
Because they're all mine kind of lead into each other. One of them is one of my few. So, spoiler, I kind of mentioned to it here before, but like out of all of these, I have like multiple names except for like 3 categories, and one of these for most annoying, it was one answer and one answer only.
Well, let's hear it then.
We're gonna start with funniest. So I put for me, and I might get some hate for this. Funniest for me was early Jericho, like WCW, first getting into WWF. Wow. Jericho. Now, honestly, a lot of that probably goes into like me just being a kid, like being younger, and him calling Steph, a hoe and all that, everything like week on end, and it was funny to me because I was in like 6th grade. Like, that's what is funny to you then, and it was a different time and whatnot. But even outside of that stuff, like being a WCW kid, I mean, I can remember watching the list of 1,004 holds, and like just even as a kid, like knowing it was like something that was supposed to, like I was supposed to hate him, and I did. It was still just like, it's pretty funny. He's just got this giant piece of paper in the ring he's reading just nonsense off of and stuff. Like early Jericho to me was like one of it's really funny. I thought he was. I put him as funniest.
Yeah.
I got 2 others, but I want to hear what you got first.
Yeah, it's tough. Like I'm going to go back to obviously my childhood and look at it that way as well. But overall, I think it's got to either be R-Truth or Booker T. I just find Booker T.
Okay.
Now, not the serious Booker, obviously,
right.
But King Booker and the Booker where he wasn't, so serious. Even on commentary, as much as he is annoying and he could be in that category, but he's just funny. I mean, Trick's theme song, it's just funny. It's not even supposed to be taken serious. But for me, I think it's got to be for me. I think for my kind of comedy, I don't know if it's dry, but for me, I loved when HBK and Triple H were tagging. They were just hilarious. They just were so good with each other because they just knew each other so well. And just the whole Vince thing with the cocks and stuff drawn on the TV.
Oh, yeah.
And even before that, before it was the whatever era that was, the HD era, I'll call it, even the Attitude Era, when they were together, it was just a 1-2 punch. It was just funny, and it was my kind of comedy. Now, R-Truth, I think it's very dry, but with him, like it's genuine. I think that's why it's so funny. I don't think he's the funniest, but I think he's in the category. That's tough. Jericho's such a good answer. Let me hear what you got. I don't have a number 1.
Yeah, no, and I mean, like I said, this is all of my stuff is like I wrote down like the first names that popped into my head with stuff just as like on there. I don't know that they're just the first like things that popped in my head for each one with them. He was the first one, and then the 2 that followed up, William Regal. Not even just as AEW manager, scrummy. I want to, what does he say in the one like, want to cover you in butter and like whatever.
Yeah, we got
take my little butter. There's all this stuff. He's like all that stuff. Hilarious. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But like just even again, going back to being a kid and like him being like commissioner and like Jericho pissing in his teacup and him coming back and he pours the tea and just like making the faces and him getting the spinning the wheel and he's in the Las Vegas like Showgirls match and him coming out in full friggin' Showgirls gear and stuff. Like hilarious stupid stuff when you're a kid. And like even honestly now looking back on it, just being like, what what fucking pro, like
exactly.
There was one with him where I'm pretty sure he had like a rap off with R-Truth when he was like later on, like toward the end of like he was in ring still, but it was like toward the end of his in ring and like him trying to have like a rap off with R-Truth. Hilarious. And then other one obviously was early Angle.
Oh.
Angle when he was like the heel Angle where he was just like so just like dumb with stuff. The little hat when he was heel with Stone Cold. Him tagging with the Undertaker when Undertaker's first back as American Badass, and like out of nowhere he's got a bandana and the sunglasses on, just like yeah. Like, just such an idiot and everything. That obviously changed and morphed into a whole different thing, and Angle's the best in different ways. But so that's why he's kind of lower down on there because that piece of it was funny, but like for me, like the early Jericho was a whole thing. Regal was like always that whole thing too. Even when he was like being more serious, it was still like funny stuff.
Yeah. I mean, there's a
Yeah.
lot. There's
Oh
a
yeah.
lot there. I mean, you could even say someone like a Santino, but for me, it was funny. It was part of the 3 hour Raw that
Right.
was that the comedy act. And I mean, he did his thing, and it was hilarious, and he will be known for that. But for me, I just with Trips and HBK, it was just like so funny. I mean, it was just
Totally.
I don't know. It was just like
Yeah.
my kind of comedy, I guess. I don't know how to explain it.
No, I love I love that choice.
Yeah.
I mean, especially because like I feel like throughout the whole history of DX, Shawn has always been like the funnier part of it all.
Yeah.
Like when they first started, when it was just him and Triple H in China, they were like always funny. But then like when the redo, like when they got back together, it was always like Shawn was kind of leading it more, and Triple H was just kind of like going along with him with it. Yeah, hilarious stuff for sure.
All right, let's get to it.
Yeah, most annoying then. So
annoying.
Funniest, most annoying. Most annoying is my one. I had one answer. It's one answer only.
So do
for
I.
me.
Let's hear it.
It's current Jericho. So I give the props. Funniest being early career Jericho. Most annoying is current Jericho. And I get that's what we're supposed to think. We're supposed to hate him because it's even before the learning tree.
It's
like,
too much.
When he first showed up in AEW and was like getting everything started with them, fine. I didn't hate it. The Painmaker was a little bit weird. The spike jacket and all. Whatever. Fine. Okay. Inner Circle, like it was all just kind of in the beginning. I didn't like hate him for it. It was just kind of whatever, seeing the last kind of round of him and stuff. And then it just kept going. And then he just has like the same feuds with everyone. And like, I eventually put them over, but like I got to win 2 matches against them first. And then I lose in a big blow off one, like crap like that. And like, he's got the Ring of Honor title now because they're going to put Ring of Honor on TV apparently. So they're trying to like have no, man, no. I get that he's a familiar name, but like no.
Yeah.
I'm over him. He should have been retired a while ago. Like once he lost the AEW belt, which even that as of him as the first champion is kind of questionable decision making, but whatever. We accepted it. It was fine. We moved on.
Yep.
Once he dropped that belt, that should have been it. For any show, I don't care what it is, whatever. Make him a friggin' producer, make him a coach, make him whatever, keep him in the back, bring him out once in a while.
Yeah.
I don't want another stable for him.
No.
I don't want another one once the learning tree eventually stops being a thing. I don't want another stable for him to be on TV all the time. Like I'm just early Jericho, funniest, huge part of my childhood. Jerichoholics Anonymous, all that. Love it. Now, piss off.
Yeah. Yeah, it's getting that bad. And you know what it is, too? He knows that it's not getting over, and he still continues to do it.
Because he's trying to say, like, oh, well, it's what you're supposed to think. Like, no. It's
bad.
It's The Rock. It's The Rock with the friggin', I decided to change the main event when I heard it. Like, no, you fucked up. Just say you fucked up, and it go away.
Yeah. You hear it every now and then on podcasts. Old timers go, I got the best heat. It's like, no, it's like The Rock. It's like, Jericho. It's time. It's time to go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry,
all right. My most annoying, and anyone in Memphis that's listening, I am sorry, but it's Jerry. It's the King. I just never ever got it. And I did watch a little of, not in his prime, but when he was in the WWE as his gimmick. And it's just, still, it was just, again, he's similar to Jericho where he thinks he's getting over, but it's really just like bad. It's just bad TV, but there's something there with the Memphis territory. And he knew probably Vince Sr. I don't know what it was.
Right.
And then they put him on commentary. And, for what it's worth, the Attitude Era, we go back and we say it was amazing, but that was bad much. And then the whole Cole thing, I love Michael Cole. I think, in my opinion, he's the greatest commentator ever. But that whole feud was just dog, and it just it's just like the learning tree. It's like, okay, it's time to go. And I guess maybe he's not in good, I don't know, faith with Trips because he's not there anymore.
Yeah, they're starting to fade him out a little bit more because he is up there. But no, you kind of nailed what I was going to say too. That because I agree with you that he's a very good call for this particular one here. Even with 90, the Attitude Era, best commentary, blah 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 blah, people say and everything. I can't think of. I can think of. I shouldn't say I can't at all. I can think of one line from the '90s kind of stuff that Lawler dropped that sticks out in my head all the time.
Yeah.
The rest of all of the memorable commentary from the Attitude Era '90s, all that is all JR. I remember in Hell in a Cell, my favorite match of all time.
Oh yes. What did he say?
But it's the second time when Foley goes through the top of the cell. Before JR says anything, it's just King's the first one. He just goes, "That's it, he's dead." And like that quick one, I remember. But that's also, I don't know so much if that's because it's Jerry or just because like it was a good call by him or if it was Vince yelling in his ear, whatever. But everything else,
say it.
With God as my witness, he's been broken in half. Is JR, Stone Cold. It's all so much more of it is JR. And then Jerry had puppies and was a horny old man, which was like, again, that's through the lens of like 5th, 6th grader, like, yeah, funny at that time and that, age and life and everything and the way the world was then. But like looking back on it now, it's like, oh, Jesus Christ.
It's too much.
Like, yeah. So I love it. And yeah, for sure.
Yeah, know your gimmick. Godfather really killed it with his gimmick, and he could have been really, really, out there. But it was just he knew what he was doing, and he was able to get the job done without being a perv. And again, we're gonna say it's the Attitude Era, but like, it was bad. Not even what he said was bad, and it's 2024, and things are different, and we know that.
Right.
But even then, it was just not even. I don't even think bad when it comes to that. I think I'm spending a little too much time, but at the end, long story short here, it was just cringeworthy.